Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Hyundai Sonata. This is obviously the fluidic Hyundai Sonata. Straight away we're going to open the engine bay. Now look at the struggle of me not able to realize how to open it. Yeah, I kind of get the hang of it now. Yes. So it gets hydraulic struts, GDI motor, kind of dirty right now, but don't mind it. You get insulation right there. Car looks really very nice. In fact, I love the fluidic design when it was there, and then obviously they changed the design language. They keep changing the design language to more polarizing, but people like it. So you see the lights also fluidic, projector setup, and of course halogens, headlight washer, the fog lamps, and lot of chrome. The grille is full of chrome. From the side you realize this is a long car. It's a very long car. You can say that the fluidic Elantra on steroids looks really elegant, still attracts a lot of attention. Tire size 215 55 17s, ventilated discs at the front. Yeah, alloy wheel design could have been a little bit more adventurous. You see this line, they have worked beautifully on the line. In fact, you see the door handle is kind of like merging inside the line itself, that shoulder line, whatever you want to call it. Okay, you get discs at the rear as well, and at the rear again, design language is super duper awesome. No fake exhaust on this car. It says GDI right there, Sonata written, and of course the lights look really very cool as well. Yeah, I mean, why is the light actually functioning? Okay, that's because of the frame rate, which is 60 FPS. Rear parking sensors, reverse parking camera. That is the exhaust. Well, dual exhaust, and these are real exhausts. Let's open the boot of the car, which means we have to press a button somewhere. Why am I struggling so much? Actually, you have to put a key here. That's kind of weird. So, can you open the boot? Yeah. Meanwhile, coming to the other side, car looks absolutely rad still. It's unbelievable how this car has not aged at all. But you know, it should have an electromagnetic tailgate opener. This is the boot of the car. The spare wheel, well, okay, we've got a extra rear view mirror. How do you open this? Things were not so convenient back in those days. Okay, spare wheel is the same size. It's an alloy as well, so that's again convenient. Okay, they have a place to actually hold on to and close this. That was easy. Coming to the rear of the car, there's plenty of space on offer. Look at the amount of space on offer. And the best thing is that ventilated seats, heated seats at the rear. Wow, door pockets are large enough. Floor is almost flat, cabin is wide enough, but you know, there's less of a hump here, bigger hump here, so 3 people really not comfortable. Now here's a party trick. Alright, cup holders, audio controls, ventilated seats as well, and yeah, ventilated seats. Okay, no heated seats, but ventilated seats. Who needs heated seats anyways? There's a 12-volt charging socket as well, and the seat recline angle is amazing too. So yeah, it's a very comfortable place to be in. Good amount of leg room, good amount of knee room. Under thigh support is also decent enough, and headroom is also very nice. Actually, that's quite impressive, a headroom. Look at the dashboard design. Well, it looks really nice. I like the dashboard design. Again, that fluidic treatment is there in the center console. Rear AC vents here as well. Let's do one thing. Okay, lot of beige treatment, nice leather everywhere, comfortable. Car is super comfortable. This is obviously aimed for people who like driving at the rear. I mean, who like to sit at the rear, not really driving. Okay, you see, the dashboard looks nice. However, that is the electric seat. It gets electric seats. Yeah, electric seats. Okay, automatic used to get the memory function. The weird thing is that there are buttons placed here to open the fuel lid and the boot as well, which is kind of hidden unless and until you don't know about it. Well, you just don't know about it. Traction control button, and that is another button for people. I mean, this is obviously to increase or decrease the intensity of this illumination. Instrument cluster looks nice, and yeah, this is the air conditioning mode, sort of Volvo, and it's got dual zones too. Very small screen, extremely small a screen. Just see the design, it looks really nice. Lockable glove box and auto dimming inside rear view mirror. Maybe this is aftermarket. There's no sunroof on offer, but there is a sunglass holder here. Of course, there is a mirror along with a light, but this hasn't been removed even after 7 years. That's surprising. Steering wheel is nice to hold. It's humongous in terms of size. Buttons here, trip and mute and audio controls and whatnot. Automatic headlights, automatic wipers. This car is absolutely loaded and gets good amount of space on offer here. USB and whatnot. It's manual. This is so like a Jag. Storage space here. What a practical car. Extremely comfortable. Seats are awesome. Obviously, the automatic also got ventilated function at the front, which is missing on this car. But hey, the manual is more fun to drive because this is the GDI, gasoline direct injection. Who really cares much about the interior, because all we care about how does the car drive. So let's get going. Alright, we're all set to go, which means first and foremost I'm going to turn off the traction control system into first gear, turning off the hazard light and rev the motor a bit because there's a chance of it stalling. The sound is really nice in the mid-range. Okay, this is a 2.4 liter GDI motor, which is one of the first Hyundai gasoline direct injection motors. GDI stands for gasoline direct injection. Many thought at that time it stands for diesel, okay, GDI. Anyways, so you see the performance has to be really nice because this is of course producing 198 horsepower and 250 Newton meters of torque. But it is a heavy car, it's a big car, the size is massive. And low end performance isn't that great. It lumbers along. Turbo takes some time to kick in, but once turbo kicks in, the mid-range is really very satisfying. Now I will tell you something really interesting about this car. Okay, this car is oriented completely towards comfort, and because it's oriented towards comfort, well, that's the reason it's super soft. The suspension is like super duper soft, which lends it a brilliant ride quality. But the clutch is one of the worst I've witnessed in any car. After, of course, there are certain few cars where the clutch is really bad, but this also has a, forget all this. Gearing is super duper tall. In fact, it crosses 100 kilometers per hour in second gear itself. Performance is really nice from this engine. As long as you push it hard and fast, it really pulls. Braking performance is stellar. Absolutely fantastic brakes on this car. The gearbox is very notchy. The clutch is just having a super long play, and there's a tendency for you to stall the car in first gear unless and until you rev the motor a bit. Yeah, that also happens. Now this steering is actually a hydraulic unit, but it's devoid of feel. There's no feel, there's no feedback. It feels really nervous, and at higher speeds also steering doesn't give you any feel or feedback. So yeah, the old Hyundai steering wheels, they just felt uneven, unbalanced, and just didn't track well. Now high speed stability is nice, but because of the soft suspension there's some amount of bounciness. However, the ride quality is absolutely fantastic. Okay, let's hear the horn. The horn could have been better. Now if you want to make a quick overtake, because of the tall gearing, you really have to downshift to make the move. Otherwise, yeah, the low end isn't that great. Mid-range punch is fantastic, and the sound from this engine, like, it's refined low down, but once you push it hard, once you push it in the mid-range, it starts to sound really nice. Here we are into second gear. Listen to it. Okay, listen to the motor now. Revs very cleanly, very clean rev, which is also a really nice thing. Now the good thing I like about this car is it still attracts so much attention on the road. And yeah, the gearbox, I particularly find the lower gates really difficult to operate. So you have to push it in, especially I'm talking about second and fourth, but I'm not the kind of person who drives in fourth. I drive in 1, 2, 3 only. So just listen to the engine in the mid-range. It is so satisfying. That sound, that smoothness, and that sporty growl also really puts a massive smile on your face. See, the ride quality is so stellar now. It flattens out almost everything, but this is a car which is far from a driver's delight, because obviously soft suspension, steering doesn't have feel, there's plenty of body roll on offer, ample amount of grip on offer. Obviously it's a front wheel drive car with traction control off. It will spin its wheels in glee. But should you buy a used Hyundai Sonata? Seems like a very tempting proposition, because you'll get one at a great price as well, but maintenance is actually on the higher side. So a service will cost you between 20 to 25,000 rupees. If parts have to be changed, it will be higher as well. And specifically the manual, you are going to keep ruining the clutch every time, because the clutch is in such a way now, the calibration is so bad that you end up overusing the clutch and revving it with the clutch activated as well. So that's a bit of a bummer. Meanwhile, part availability is also not that great. So it actually takes somewhere around a month for parts to come. Like you want to change maybe the brake discs or any non-regular part. Well, it does take some time, because this is like an old car now and Hyundai discontinued it. Now before this generation of the Sonata, I think there was the Sonata Embera which was on sale, which also got a diesel engine. This generation only got a petrol engine. Yeah, that was kind of weird. They dropped the diesel. They only opted to offer a petrol engine in the Sonata, and they entered the Indian market, I think, with the fourth generation of the Sonata, which had Jaguar design language. Yeah, this is of course a very different design language. Looks really nice. We're going straight, we're going right.
We are going straight.
Straight behind these cars?
Yeah, straight behind these cars.
Okay, driving this car in the city is a bit of a pain, and driving it on narrow roads is another bit of a pain because of the size of this vehicle. But I like it. I like the smoothness. I like the comfort levels. I like the fact that the steering is easy to twirl. Hydraulic steering having no feel or feedback, that's news to me, honestly. And you have to be really very careful over bad roads, because long wheelbase, of course, really long wheelbase, length, forget the length, but the wheelbase is so long that it does keep its underbelly, but here we are. Yeah, the wheels spinning in glee, obviously, because it has punch. It doesn't feel like a car which has 198 horsepower for sure, but still has plenty of oomph on offer. I hate these kind of speed breakers because they're kind of weird and awkward, but the ride is so beautiful and measured on this car. It's absolutely stunning, a ride quality. Okay, have you heard of this ladder match which happens in wrestling? That's kind of what I think is happening right in front of me. Come on. Okay, if we put this car into 5th gear, it's a 6-speed gearbox. Right now we're in 5th gear. You see, it's able to track ahead without any issue, but just feels sleepy. It feels like it's dead here. You have to really downshift, work the gearbox, and that's how it moves ahead. We're going straight, right?
Yes, we are going straight.
All right. Come on, give me the punch. Into 1st gear, revving the nuts. Rev still 5,000 RPM. 1st gear 60 kilometers per hour, 6,500 RPM red line. 2nd gear, obviously it crosses 100 kilometers per hour. We're going this left,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah, spins its wheels like absolute madness, but don't try these maneuvers like this because then that softness can be felt. Motor feels really alive. The engine is fantastic. The ride quality is brilliant. And of course, the interior also feels spacious. There's so much space on offer at the rear. So this is a car which feels great in multiple ways to me. Only thing is not really a driver's delight. But, you know, come to a speed breaker and then you realize that you need a really good chauffeur and then you stall the car. And that's so embarrassing on camera when I actually stall a car. And why do I stall the car? For obvious reasons that the clutch is really bad on this car. Really bad on this car. But hey, you encounter another speed breaker, you realize that you have to actually manage with revving the motor. Okay, air conditioning turns on its own. Here we go, 1st gear. And before you know it, there's another speed breaker. So right now we are in speed breaker paradise, probably. There's too many speed breakers here. Keep the revs a little higher, otherwise the chance of stalling this car is extremely high. Yeah, extremely higher chance of stalling this car. Steering could have really offered more feel and feedback, but then Hyundai steering wheels don't really offer feel and feedback even today. So obviously asking for that almost 7 years back is just unreasonable from me. I love the ride. I just love the ride quality of this car. Now, at the time when this car was launched, it was priced around rupees 25 lakhs. There were two variants. There was a manual and there was an automatic as well. Automatic had slightly more features. The manual, of course, missed out on features, which is kind of weird because it's ulta right now. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this vlog. I think we've come to an end because I think there is the Civic where I need to jump in right now. Should I park it here or should I park it there? I can just park it here? Sure. Yeah, this car costs rupees 25 lakhs. Thank you so much for entertaining me with your car and letting me rev the nuts out of the vehicle because I mean, I could, like, I was not looking at you, but I could feel it with your corner of the eye that you're looking like, okay, you're going to ruin my tires.
No, it's a purely new, preloaded new purely one.
7 years old car has done 31,000 kilometers.
Yes,
it's absolutely new and well kept.
Yes.
Alright guys, thank you, bye bye.
Thank you.